ring.
The men's business tonight.
Good right hand by Butterbean. Clark trying to fight back. That's it. Clark is down.
This is what happens when you step into the ring thinking muscles alone can save you from Butterbean.
Down goes Jagan, hits his head hard. Fight is over.
Big mistake, because when Eric Butterbean Esch decides it's time to knock you out, no amount of gym time will save your soul. With his deadly right hand and an appetite for destruction, Butterbean has left a trail of broken giants who thought they could handle the round mound of Pound Town. But they were wrong, dead wrong.
Считать не стоит. Вот так закончилась вылазка тяжелая.
Welcome to Knockout Truth. Today we'll witness how Butterbean absolutely demolished these muscle-bound idiots who dared to challenge the king of the one-punch knockout.
And they swing so much he doesn't stay out the way, especially guys like Bean.
Bean just smiling through this round.
In 1999, Butterbean stepped into the ring for an exhibition match against Jackie Beard.
Here is the other half of this matchup, and this is Jackie Beard. And as we said, Beard comes in here looking reasonably fit for tough man competition. You don't find a lot of Mr. Worlds.
Now, Beard thought he had what it took to go toe-to-toe with the king of knockouts. The face-off before the fight showed Beard trying to look tough, trying to intimidate the round man.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Black Jack Beard.
But Butterbean just smiled. He knew exactly what was coming. He'd seen this story 1,000 times before. Big guys, tough talk, and then lights out.
Butterbean, I call him Eric Cash, but the guy's got a good kicker, and he can punch. He punches short.
Beard was about to become just another name on the list of victims.
With a special heavyweight exhibition bout scheduled for 3 rounds featuring 2 former Tough Man champions.
When the bell rang,
Man competition, and he just turned.
Butterbean wasted absolutely no time showing this fool why nobody messes with the baddest 400-pounder on the planet.
Tough man competition is all about just what you saw right there in microcosm. Point out they're using 16-ounce gloves here, which they use in the tough man competitions. So more like pillows than what you see in regular boxing.
Beard tried to establish his range, tried to use his reach, but Butterbean was a heat-seeking missile locked onto one target. Pure and simple destruction.
You're going to be able to watch the tough man competition, and there's a good left hand from Butterbean, and that got Beard.
The round mound stalked his prey like a predator circling wounded prey. Every step Butterbean took, you could feel the danger in the air. Beard was trying to survive, but survival wasn't an option tonight.
So this is just a little taste of what you're going to be able to see. Butterbean opens right up. Bean was doing a little hot dogging there.
Yeah, they're like pillows unless you get hit with
When it
it.
happened, Butterbean loaded up that massive overhand right, the same punch that had ended so many careers before. He threw it with bad intentions, with the kind of power that could crack concrete, and the punch landed flush on Beard's jaw, and the damage was instant. Beard's legs gave out, and he slumped helplessly against the ropes like a puppet with its strings cut. The referee had seen enough. He jumped in and waved it off, because leaving Beard in there any longer would have been criminal. Butterbean had cracked another giant wide open and sent him home. Another fool bites the dust.
He's still out. I mean, when you've been hit by Butterbean, you've been hit.
He got nailed.
August 15th, 1995, in Las Vegas. Paul Springer stood across from Butterbean, thinking this was his moment to shine.
Очень забавный персонаж. Это его профессиональный дебют на ринге, а победитель соревнований на звание «Самый сильный».
The face-off was intense. Springer looked confident, maybe too confident. He stared at Butterbean like he was ready to make a name for himself. But Butterbean just stared back with those cold eyes. The eyes of a killer who'd done this dance too many times to count. Springer had no idea he was about to become a highlight reel victim in front of millions of viewers.
117 фунтов. Представляете?
When that opening bell rang, Springer came out aggressive, trying to establish dominance early. Huge mistake, because Butterbean doesn't play defense. He walks forward and breaks you in half. And that's exactly what happened.
Почти такой же. Здоровенный, только более мускулистый. Ну вот.
In just 52 seconds, Butterbean turned Springer's dreams into a nightmare. The round mound unleashed his devastating power and caught Springer with a shot that shut his lights off permanently. Springer hit the canvas like a falling tree. He was done, finished, destroyed on national television for the whole world to see. The referee didn't even need to count. Everyone knew it was over.
Рефери можно не напрягаться. Считать не стоит. Вот так закончилась вылазка тяжелая.
Butterbean had just embarrassed this fool in less than a minute. Springer learned the hard way that stepping into the ring with Butterbean was a one-way ticket to Humiliation City.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Toby Gibson reaches the count of 10. The official time.
July 28, 1995. Casino Magic in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Doug Norris thought he was tough enough to handle the freak Butterbean. At the face-off, Norris flexed his muscles and tried to psych Butterbean out.
Black, trimmed with white, weighing in at 215 pounds. From Pensacola, Florida, his record is 1-3. Introducing dangerous Doug Norris.
But you can't intimidate a man who's built his entire career on destroying giants. Butterbean looked at Norris the way a lion looks at a wounded gazelle, with hunger and anticipation. Round one came and went with Butterbean stalking his prey methodically.
Before being bested there, and you'd have to fight 4 times in one night. 3 one-minute rounds, and they were your fights all the way through, so you could fight 4 times in a night.
Norris probably thought he was doing well, just surviving the first round. Poor fool. He had no idea what was coming in round 2.
The guy threw the ring ropes once onto a table, and the guy was 385 pounds. A very scary sight.
Yes. Meanwhile, Doug Norris boxing him. Now, Norris lost him in...
When that bell rang for the second round, Butterbean shifted into another gear entirely. He started throwing bombs, massive shots that could crumble buildings. Norris tried to defend himself, but defending against Butterbean is like trying to stop a tsunami with your bare hands. Impossible.
With Butterbean before losing to him a 4th round TKO. And you see a reason why. He'll outbox him, but then he'll get popped.
They clashed heads, and that's what hurt Doug Norris. I was joking, but that was the problem.
In just a minute into round 2, Butterbean landed the shot that ended everything. A devastating blow that sent Norris crashing to the canvas in a heap. The crowd erupted as Norris lay there, wondering what the hell just happened to him.
Well, it's wild now, folks, and there goes Doug Norris.
The referee counted him out, and just like that, another giant had fallen to the power of Butterbean. Norris had entered the ring with confidence and muscles for days, but he left with nothing but regret and a splitting headache that would last for weeks. May 14th, 1996. Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut. Jonathan Whitfield stepped up, believing he could be the one to finally stop Butterbean's reign of terror.
A special added attraction scheduled for 4 rounds, heavyweights. Your referee for this event from New Haven, Connecticut, El Caballero.
The pre-fight face-off showed Whitfield looking determined, ready for war. He probably spent months training and preparing for victory.
Rhode Island, here is Jonathan Spider Whitfield.
But all that preparation meant absolutely nothing when facing a destroyer like Butterbean. The round mound just stared at him, screaming, "I'm about to ruin your whole career."
Michigan, the king of the 4-rounders, Butterbean! Butterbean!
For 3 rounds, Whitfield survived. He dodged, he ran, he clinched. But you can only run for so long before the predator catches you.
And also was 1-6. So Butterbean fighting the guy 1-6. Guess he's ready to step up again.
Well, Butterbean describes his style, no secret, raw.
And in round 4, Butterbean finally caught his prey. The round mound had been patient, calculating, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when that moment came, he didn't hesitate.
I called it. That's what I called.
Exactly. That's what we were just getting to.
That's what he said between rounds.
I told you, if the guy was ducking to his right.
Butterbean unleashed a combination of devastating shots that broke Whitfield's will and body simultaneously. Whitfield crumbled under the assault, and the referee had to jump in to save him from further punishment.
And time permitting, we'll take a look at an earlier fight. Joe L. Scott, rising young heavyweight, in a terrific affair. And now Whitfield is helped up, and that is it.
Helped up.
Another victim added to Butterbean's growing list of destroyed opponents. Whitfield had lasted longer than most, but the result was always inevitable. Because when you step into the ring with Butterbean, you're fighting for survival. And Whitfield barely survived.
Final bell, Butterbean put the pressure on, landed the hooks, down to the canvas and down to the table right in front of us goes Jonathan Whitfield. Butterbean had to work tonight.
February 10th, 2007. Cage Rage 20 in London, England. This was MMA, a completely different beast, and James Thompson was a massive giant, a monster of a man who had demolished countless opponents in the cage.
Welcome, James the Colossus Thompson!
The face-off before this fight was legendary. Thompson towered over Butterbean, trying to use his size advantage to intimidate the round mound.
James the Colossus Thompson!
But Butterbean had faced bigger and tougher, and he'd knocked them all out cold.
And on my left!
Thompson probably thought his MMA skills would be too much for a boxer like Butterbean. He was dead wrong.
Any questions for me on the rules? Don't grab the cage when you're fighting, and don't kick or knee the head of a downed opponent unless I've called open guard. When I say stop, you stop. Let's touch gloves, get ready for war.
When the cage door closed, Butterbean didn't waste a single second. He charged forward like a bowling ball shot from a cannon. Thompson tried to establish his game plan, but Butterbean had other ideas. The round mound started throwing punches that separate souls from bodies.
That's a big if, and I think that there you go. There it is. Oh, that's about it. I mean, that's about it.
43 seconds. That's all it took. 43 seconds for Butterbean to prove that boxing power translates perfectly to MMA. He caught Thompson with a devastating shot that sent the giant crashing to the mat.
Paul Sutherland outside were also angry. This is going to be a controversial finish. That's a clip.
Yeah,
that's a clip. And he dodges this one.
He's still fine.
He dodged that one. So he knew what he was doing. That first one missed. Let's be straight here. Grant rarely gets it wrong. I feel Grant.
Thompson's head bounced off the cage on the way down like a basketball. Absolutely brutal. The crowd went insane as Thompson lay there motionless.
Watch, he dodges this one. He misses this one. He's still there. This one doesn't hit. That one lands. And then it's early. I feel he rarely gets it wrong.
Butterbean had just knocked out one of MMA's toughest giants in less than a minute, proving that when you have knockout power like his, the sport doesn't matter. It's all the same when you're getting hit by Butterbean.
The winner by way of knockout, Butterbean!
February 13th, 1999. Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Patrick Graham stepped into the ring, thinking his muscles and size would carry him to victory. The face-off showed Graham flexing, posing, trying to look like the bigger man.
Shamrock Graham.
But Butterbean just stood there calm and collected, knowing that in a few minutes Graham would be lying face first on the canvas, questioning all his life choices.
316 pounds. He comes to us from Jasper, Alabama, with a professional record of 39 victories, 30 by knockout, only one loss.
As the fight began, Graham managed to survive Butterbean's onslaught.
Here in the Thomas and Mack Center, as has De La Hoya at this point.
For 2 rounds, he absorbed shots that would have knocked out normal men and kept coming back for more. You had to respect his toughness, even if his strategy was terrible.
Guys laugh about it. Dennis Rodman at one point issued a public challenge, and Butterbean said, "Come on," and then Rodman vaporized.
But toughness only gets you so far when you're fighting a knockout artist like Butterbean. Eventually, that chin cracks and legs give out.
Here's Butterbean trying to put some jabs together. Last punch.
As round 3 arrived, Butterbean decided enough was enough. He'd given Graham 2 rounds to prove himself, and Graham had failed miserably. Now it was time to end this farce. Butterbean started unleashing his full arsenal, throwing combinations that shook the entire ring.
Wrestling paydays. He lands a thunderous right-hand shot clean to the head of Graham. Graham's shown a pretty good ability to take these punches, but he doesn't like...
Graham tried to fight back, but he was fighting against a force of nature.
Yeah, he can do a lot. And Butterbean counters over the top.
Butterbean landed the final blow, a massive shot that sent Graham stumbling backward before the referee jumped in to stop the massacre.
Graham through the rope with a body punch. And Jay Nady has won.
Another giant destroyed, another fool humbled. Graham had entered the ring with all the confidence in the world and left with nothing but a bruised ego and a story about the night he got demolished by Butterbean.
Manipulates him momentarily, sends him to the canvas.
You notice that Butterbean actually stepped back and countered that jab. Boom.
Well, and timed it over the second.
The crowd roared in approval as Butterbean raised his arms in victory, once again proving that muscles don't mean anything when you're fighting a true knockout king.
And Butterbean comes over to hover above George and off.
So, every single giant who stepped up thinking they could handle the round mound got absolutely demolished and left the ring questioning their entire existence. If you don't want those deadly fists turning your face into a pancake, smash that like button right now and hit subscribe to Knockout Truth, because we're bringing you more savage knockouts that'll make your jaw drop. Thanks for tuning in.